There hasn't been an LPGA Tour event in Fort Myers in 47 years, and it's likely that won't change anytime soon. But what is the reason behind this? We'll talk about some interesting news about the LPGA Tour. Specifically, we're going to discuss why the LPGA Tour event will not be returning to Fort Myers. But before we continue, LPGA fans are debating whether to include a transgender into the women's sports. Be sure to finish this video. What does the LPGA thinks about this? Let's get started. What is the LPGA Tour? One of the world's oldest women's professional sports associations is the Ladies Professional Golf Association, LPGA. Since its founding in 1950 as a playing circuit, the organization has expanded into a non-profit that is active in every aspect of golf. At its core, the LPGA Tour and its roster of LPGA professionals form the world's preeminent organization for women's professional golf. The LPGA Foundation, junior and women's programs, and events all contribute to the LPGA's commitment to charitable giving. Commissioner Molly Marcoux Samaan oversees the LPGA from its headquarters in Daytona Beach, Florida. In 1959, the LPGA Tour branched out to become the LPGA Professionals. The largest membership of female golf professionals in the world is boasted by the newly rebranded LPGA Professionals. A thorough program developed to address the evolving demands of the golfing public leads to the certification of LPGA professionals as golf instructors, coaches, and company managers. With a membership of over 1,800, LPGA professionals work tirelessly to promote the sport of golf in a variety of roles, including but not limited to head professional, assistant professional, teacher, director of golf, owner of golf facilities and schools, administrator of golf programs, coach at the collegiate and high school levels, and more. The LPGA's grassroots programs aim to increase participation in golf among women and youth and to foster the sport's general development, and LPGA professionals provide their support to these endeavors. The LPGA Lesson Zone, LPGA Golf 101, LPGA Tour Junior Clinics, LPGA USGA Girls Golf, and other similar programs are part of this. The Epson Tour. Every year, the top 10 finishers from the Epson Tour, also called the Road to the LPGA, graduate to play on the LPGA Tour. 3 players that competed on the Epson Tour, Inbee Park, Lorena Ochoa, and Nelly Corda, have now moved to the top spot in the Rolex rankings, along with Marina Alex, Celine Boutier, Allie Ewing, and Madeline Sagstrom. Other recent grads who have achieved success on the LPGA Tour include Mo Martin, Hannah Green, and Patty Tavatanakit, who won major tournaments. Notable accomplishments include Sophia Popov's triumph in the 2020 AIG Women's Open and her inclusion, along with 5 other Epson Tour alumni, on the 12-player European Solheim Cup winning squad the following year. We know we promised you a reveal later on, but fans are divided. What do you think? Should the LPGA include transgender in the LPGA Tour? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The LPGA Tour played in Fort Myers last year in 2021. Southwest Florida played host to the LPGA Tour's top players. The event returned to Fort Myers in 2022 after a 47-year absence. From February 3 to 5, 2022, Crown Colony Golf Club will host the LPGA Drive-On Championship, the same tournament that Austin Ernst won in March 2021 in Ocala. Neither a gallery nor ticket sales were available at the Fort Myers event. Even though there was no Pro-Am, members of the Crown Colony were eligible to attend the 120-player event. It wasn't televised either, but you can watch it online on the Golf Channel or NBC's Peacock service. The Greater Fort Myers Classic, held at Lockmore Country Club in 1974 and 1975, was the final time Fort Myers hosted an LPGA Tour event. In 1974, the winner was left-handed Bonnie Bryant, while in 1975, Sandra Haney defeated Pat Bradley in a playoff. In the same year, Haney won the Naples Lely LPGA Classic, which is quite coincidental. The LPGA won't come back to Fort Myers. In the previous year, Fort Myers did not host the LPGA Tour. It seems like there was some agreement to bring the Drive-On Championship back to Fort Myers from last February, even though it was originally advertised as a one-off tournament at Crown Colony Golf Club. According to Kent, last year's competition lacked a gallery and a live television broadcast, but that was all in the original plans for this year's event in Fort Myers. But he said the tour told him around 2 weeks ago that the players wanted a different pace to their schedule. We're almost at the end. Do you have any idea as to what LPGA thinks? Stay tuned. Why was the Fort Myers event canceled? Among the most prestigious annual events hosted by the LPGA, the Drive-On Championship has been going strong for the last several years running. The Crown Colony Golf Course in Fort Myers, Florida, has hosted the event for the last 2 years. Unlike other women's golf tournaments, this one had a substantial prize fund, giving it a unique vibe. On the other hand, word on the street is that next year's Drive-On Championship won't be making a comeback to Fort Myers, and there's an excellent reason for that. The general public was not allowed to view the matches in Fort Myers due to certain regulations. For instance, the rules stipulated that only official members of the golf club could attend the event, and live television coverage was also forbidden. Even though most people watched the event through online streaming, the organizers were still not satisfied. It was supposed to be a significant moment. It appears that next year's Drive-On Championship will be held in either Miami or Arizona, as the LPGA is currently opposed to the idea of hosting the tournament at Fort Myers, which has not hosted an LPGA Tour event in 47 years. Crown Colony Club has expressed their desire to host the LPGA either next year or in 2024. In the economic factors, hosting an LPGA Tour event is no small feat and requires substantial financial backing. From sponsorships to logistical expenses, the costs can add up quickly. Recently, Fort Myers has faced challenges in securing the necessary sponsorship deals to support the event. Local businesses and corporate sponsors have had to tighten their budgets, impacting their ability to contribute to such large-scale events. But it's not just about the money. We've seen a lot of changes in the economic landscape here in Fort Myers. While we love hosting big events like the LPGA Tour, the financial strain has become too significant. It's unfortunate, but we have to prioritize our resources. As we come to an end, what's going on with the debate on inclusion of transgender in the LPGA Tour? What does the LPGA think about this? In the past 18 months, there has been a surge in the discussion surrounding transgender inclusion in women's sports. More and more individuals and groups are standing out for equal opportunities for all girls and women, regardless of their gender. For women's professional golfers, there is the NXXT Women's Pro Tour, which runs from the end of fall to the beginning of spring and serves as a feeder tour to the LPGA, the Epson Tour. It should be noted that Davidson is playing by the rules established by the LPGA and the USGA, regardless of how we personally feel about her competing against females. However, the LPGA is dissatisfied with the way golf media sources have dealt with this issue, even though it is an important conversation that golf must have at all levels. Press coverage of Davidson's triumph served primarily to generate clicks and engagement on social media platforms, rather than to spark meaningful debate. You may expect a deluge of negative, unproductive, and even nasty social media comments when you publish content on a sensitive topic like this. But hey, who cares if the end goal is to boost your social media stats and website traffic? Considering that, it is clear that this is a matter that requires additional investigation and discussion within the women's golf community. It is unrealistic to expect the people in charge to solve this problem in a way that satisfies everyone involved if we keep ignoring the problem. While it's sad to see the event leave Fort Myers, we can still cherish the incredible moments and memories from past tournaments. The city has been a wonderful host, and who knows, maybe one day the LPGA Tour will return. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you found this video informative, give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow golf fans, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates and insights from the world of golf. See you next time.